A&D's Homestead. I'm Donna. Y'all, today I have something really exciting to show you. Today is Wednesday, the 31st, I do believe. I went out this morning to go let my chickens out and feed them, and I realized when I was going out there, I'm starting to not feel good. I'm starting to feel a little achy, so I was in a rush to get back to the house. I wanted to lay down and rest. But that's my scales. But I decided to just mosey real quick over to what I call my back garden and check on some things. We have had rain consistently, pretty much non-stop since last Friday. And sometimes when we have that much rain, I end up with damage to the garden. So I go over there and check things out. There's a little bit of damage because we did have some high winds as well. But what I discovered, to my surprise, was these. Look at this. Red potatoes. I was thrilled to see them. However, they really weren't ready to be harvested. Normally, you would wait until your potato plants dry up, fall over, and just get, ugly. And that's when, it's time to harvest your potatoes. I don't even believe these things had completely flowered. There were some flowers out, but not everything had flowered. But I realized that with so much rain, and I have raised bed gardens, and these were in my boxes. With so much rain, just not being able to go anywhere and just saturating the boxes, it was pushing these potatoes out of the ground. Now, for me, if I have potatoes coming up out of the ground, I don't care what size they are. I'm going to take them. I'm not going to leave them uncovered. And my boxes, I planted them so full. There was actually no spare soil that I could grab from to cover these up and not uncover the ones next to them. I really kind of overplanted this year. But anyways, the last thing that you want to do with potatoes is leave them exposed. And I will show you why. See the end of that? It's not rotted, but what the sun does is it turns them green, which will not be something that you want. There's just a couple in here. This one has a green edge. This one is really bad. But for the most part, there are a mixed bag here. I've got some mediums. I've got some pretty good large potatoes, for this early harvest. I've got plenty of large ones that are beautiful, and I've got a lot of little small ones that I would call perfect Red Bliss potatoes. This one has a green spot, but the last thing that you want is for the sun to hit those potatoes. And if you cannot keep them covered, which is what I should have done, but I wasn't able to, if you can't keep them covered, then in my opinion, it's best to go ahead and pull them up, because any size potato, that one's got a little green spot, any size potato is still going to be a usable potato. It's not like they have to get to a certain size to be ripe. And I'm one of those people who loves to make pots of Red Bliss potatoes, which is, boiled in butter, some parsley, a little bit of garlic salt, and maybe some onion or onion powder. So this was a big surprise to me. The plants were not actually ready to be harvested by the general rule of thumb. They're getting weak, but they have not fallen over yet. And it's right at the 3-month mark. Now, our weather has played a big role. We have had very up and down weather, nothing consistent since I planted them. And I planted them the last weekend, I believe, in February. They're getting close. I would have needed to harvest them soon, but these are a little early. I still have plenty of other potatoes out there. I've got another box that are the baking potatoes, and I just planted 2 kinds. But here's a little fun fact. What I found. Y'all know what these are? They look like little miniature tomatoes, but they are the berries of the potato plant, and they are called true potato seeds. These are loaded with seeds. And in all of my years, many years, because I'm up there in age, been gardening since I was in my 20s, all of my years I have never had a potato plant put out the true potato seeds. Normally what you're doing is you're planting tubers from regular potatoes that have grown eyes, and you plant those. And those potatoes are going to be exactly true to the parent potato time and time again. Even if you are keeping potatoes with eyes from one season to the next, and then, replanting those tubers and keep them going, you're going to get the consistent, exact potato from the original potato plant, no matter how old that potato plant is. The fun thing about potato seeds, the true potato seeds, is they're not going to be exact. They're going to be wild and different, and they're going to be unique, and no 2 plants are going to be alike. So if you like experimenting, they're going to be great potatoes, but it's a rarity to actually have plants to produce these. And I've never had them. I knew about them, but I've never had any of my plants to ever produce these. This morning, I just got 4. Now, you're supposed to leave these on the plant and only take them when they just fall off at whim. The plant where these were growing was broken, so I went ahead and took them. And I will try to sow these seeds just to experiment. I'm not going to depend on them, but I have heard for years throughout my life about these, that you have a gem if you have these, because it is rare for potato plants under normal, homegrown conditions to put these out. And what you do is you save the seeds, and there's a lot of seeds in here. You save these seeds and you treat them exactly the same way you would treat tomato seeds. They have to be started inside at a determined, a regular temperature from, the 50s to the 70s. They have to stay warm. They need a really good grow light. But you can start these seeds inside. They're not supposed to be hard to start. They just need the right environment, just like a tomato. But what I have heard is to save these, if you're not going to do anything with them, is to save them, dry them out, and keep them in the freezer. And you can keep these forever, and they will still be viable. But the neat thing is every single seed out of each berry is going to produce a different type of tomato, and it's going to be a new variety, a variety that has never been done. So if you want to experiment, if you can get your hands on these things, whether they're in your own garden or somebody else has them and is willing to gift them to you, you can start your own unique individual types of potatoes with different colors, different flavors, different sizes, different shapes. They will be completely different from any other plant in the past, brand spanking new type. You can even, if you can prove that you're growing something different and unique, you can actually get those things named. But anyways, I think I'm going to have fun with these. I'm going to try them. I'm going to experiment and plant some and maybe save some. and not depend on them because of my inexperience with these. I'm going to have to do some research and find out, how to fine tune what I need to do with them. But that's a very interesting thing and a thrilling thing for me to find. And it was just one potato plant, just one. And it takes special conditions for this to even happen. So, oh, I did put these on my kitchen scale. And what I got this morning, it's not much, but considering it was a surprise, 11 pounds, 3 ounces of potatoes. Guess what I'm having for dinner tonight? I think I'm going to make me some Red Bliss potatoes. I absolutely love red potatoes in butter. So anyways, that is it for this video. I just wanted to share this because I was very excited to bring in potatoes. Note, let me remind one thing. Let me say one thing. Normally, when I harvest my potatoes, I do not wash them. I bring them in, the carport or my garden area where I work my vegetables, and I take a pretty firm brush and I brush all the soil off. Usually it's dry soil and you can brush them off pretty good. And that's how I store them. It is best not to store them after they've been washed. I had no choice because these were sitting in water and they were muddy, muddy, muddy. So since they were already in water and so murred up with mud, I did rinse them off. I'm going to make sure I dry them really good. I'm not going to store them in anything right now. I'm going to let them dry really good. And the last thing that I want to mention is, this is another fun fact for me. This year is the first growing season that I have ever grown potatoes and had 0 potato bugs. Those Colorado potato bugs. Not a single plant have I found any of those. And they're growing in the same spot that they grew last year out of necessity. I had nowhere else to put them. But that's pretty neat that I haven't had them. Another thing is, I grow potatoes in the fall. I never hear of anybody who does that. Maybe I'm just not in the right circles, but I normally have better success in the fall for growing potatoes than I do in the spring. And that's because those potato beetles are just less. I have less pest pressure on anything. My fall gardens actually do a lot better than my spring and summer gardens. But I will fill my boxes back up again with seed potatoes and put them out, let's say, generally about 3 months, maybe around August. I will set those out and get a good harvest. But I do better in the fall than I do in the summer for potatoes. So that concludes this video. I just wanted to share this beautiful, small, tiny bucket, 11 pounds worth of potatoes that I was not expecting today. I hope this video was informative for you about the seed potatoes if you didn't already know about them. And I hope that you liked the video, and if you did, please hit the like button, and would you please consider subscribing to my channel. There's going to be a lot more videos. I'm just kind of in a holding pattern with my kitchen still, not put back together. We're getting there, but it's not ready yet. And as soon as I have my kitchen back to fully functional kitchen, then there's going to be a lot of cooking, baking, canning, preserving videos that I want to bring to y'all. So I hope that you will stay with me and consider subscribing to my channel. Y'all have a great day. Bye.